Everybody, welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Season 5, Episode 113 with me, Sid, and I've kind of been pottering around, just dealing with things, trying to recover our, in fact we're not going to bother with that right now, our things. I've managed to get us to a 759 on that, that's moving us along nicely, but last episode we made the core sample drill where we found around our base a whole bunch of core samples, including the most important one, this pyrite. However, to extract that we're going to need two things. We're going to need power and we're going to need steel. We are going to need so much steel, it's unbelievable. But once we've got that, we've effectively will have a large supply of iron, because this is probably not enough. The other issue and the other bottleneck I've got right now is that my processing speed is limited by, well, this, and this has got an octadic capacitor in it. It's got the top level capacitor in it, so this doesn't go any faster. And I set 32 pig iron ingots going some time ago, and we got 4. Now I need somewhere about, I'm sure I made a note of all of this lot, but I need blocks and blocks of steel. I need steel scaffolding in quantities. I need steel heavy construction blocks in quantities. So the nice thing is, of course, this area is chunk loaded, because of course we have got this map mod and this is all chunk loaded, and this is actually chunk loaded here. These blocks are not chunk loaded because they don't need to be. So I can set a batch of 32 going, bugger off, do some stuff, and come back and be on with things. So what I am going to do today, we are going to head out this way to try and expose more of this terrain. And while we are probably on our way back, if we do, we'll see what we find over here, but we're going to examine these sources of iron, because we need more iron. We need to make iron into steel, and yeah, to do that we're going to need more iron, because of course the one thing we could do is I could be making more of these, the alloy smelters. Now the alloy smelter itself is not too bad. There's a little bit of iron there. There's 7 iron there, so that's 11 iron. The blast furnace, you see, then you start getting expensive. So then of course you've got the steel ingots and the basic capacitor and crucibles, so it does add up. But for every one of these we've got running, that halves the amount of time. It basically doubles the amount of ingots we can produce in the same time frame. So if I can get 4 of those running, and the time it takes currently to do 1, I can do 4, which means I could have 4 stacks of iron running simultaneously, effectively. So that is the plan for today. We can't really do much more with that anyway, so what I just need to do, I'm going to check Trunky. He's got some spare bowls, he's got everything we need in it. We are going to go on a road trip again and try and pass some time to get some of this done, but this is just going to be an absolute mare to get completed, I think. But it's a challenge, and I do like a challenge. Not all the time, some challenges I can do without. But we've got a lot of the tools to now get us from A to B quickly, so that's a bonus. And we'll just head over here, we'll jump in a boat, we'll head over to, I'm just trying to think what the best way of doing this is. Are we better to boat around to here maybe, and then cut straight down? Probably. In fact, we can boat around to here, go down and then hit the river, can't we? It's winter time, so foraging is going to be a little bit awkward, but we have got plenty of food. So first things first, let's get me a boot. Give me a boat, and yeah, we'll probably try doing it that way. So I'm going to head out, and I will see you in a bit. You know, you got to say the colour changes that TFC gets for its seasonal changes are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm just trundling along here, and this was green when it came on the horizon, and it is slowly just changed back to autumn with barely a hoofer what's imaging. Do I want to? I want to do that, don't I? Right. Yeah, so but as much as old as TerraFirmaCraft is, and obviously at some point we will eventually get out of this thing and start playing a 1.12 version of TFC once we've completed this season. I'm definitely not finishing this season until I've got that bloody arc furnace and excavator, and maybe a nuclear reactor. The other thing I will be doing, and you know, address an elephant in the room and an elephant in the comments, is I will be going back into the roguelike dungeons. I will attempt, I'm not going to promise, I will attempt to play other than is my normal nature, and I will attempt to be more reckless. Now, I've said this on plenty of occasions, but I'll say it again because this is a philosophy that I find for all kinds of gaming and game theory is only a fool enters a fight, a fair fight or an even fight. If you're going to a fight and it's a fair fight, you're not doing it right. A fair fight doesn't exist. You go in with absolutely every conceivable possible advantage that you can come up with. If it involves, and of course if it involves not getting hit, which is obviously a play style that I endorse. There's a little iron sample there, but I think we'll keep pushing forward. I'd like to find a richer area because this is claystone, which is, I don't think, a particularly good one for iron. Anyway, yeah, so you're going with every advantage possible. That said, I do acknowledge that at the time I was wearing black steel armor. I'm now wearing red steel armor. It's heavily enchanted. My weapons and tools are heavily improved. So in theory, I should be able to go in and be a little bit more reckless. However, I will go on record as saying a roguelike dungeon, certainly the second level when you hit the crypts and you've got some of those rooms have 4 or 5 spawners in per room, you are going in for a whole world of hurt. And of course with TFC not regenerating as fast, then in theory you could be going in for a whole world of hurt, which is not when you could get you into trouble. So I need to find a blended balance between my kind of overly cautious, and I accept it is potentially overly cautious. I am a very cautious player. That's why I don't tend to die a great deal. And also being a little bit more gung-ho and getting in there, and so maybe putting barriers in and then pushing through and going and hacking and slashing my way in, and then rinse and repeat kind of style may be the way forward. I don't know, but I am going in there. I am aware that there will be furnaces and enchanting tables and all sorts of goodies down there. Most of the equipment that you will get from there is absolutely useless, certainly in the kind of terms of the enchanted weapons and stuff. They are very, compared to what we'll be going in with. That's fine, Mr. Deer. They are pretty poor. So now the question is from here, what do I do? Do I... the surface iron 15 that way. I'm tempted to just go and try and uncover... Jesus, I've got to watch what I'm doing. Yeah, this is also a problem when you're yakking and moving at the same time. Very easy to have a moment. But it doesn't matter. We'll continue on. Are you going to let me get out? Thank you. We'll continue on. I'm just going to push. There's a bear over there. And there is iron here. Where is that bear? I see the bear. Does the bear see me? He should be quite tenderized now. Right, well, we can all. I'm only wearing 2 iron. That worked. He didn't even get a hit on me, which is always a good way to play in my experience. So there's another aspect of this kind of style of play, and this is, I describe it in one of the comments as being the difference between a constitution-based D&D player and a dexterity-based D&D player. And that is this: if you take extra hit points, if you take extra life, that life only lasts for as long as it takes before you have the hits taken off you. So for example, I have got 1902 hit points, and obviously from a point of view of a gaming mindset, that's not bad, especially not for TFC. I need to just check what I need. Let's go for a mixture of protein, fruit and dairy if I can manage it. Protein, fruit and dairy. There we go. Lovely. So I can tank more hits. But once I've taken the hits, they've gone. Now, if I go for armor class related, which obviously in D&T terms would be dexterity bonuses to my hit, if I get hit less, I get hit less every single hit. So it is better to take less hits than it is to actually be able to tank the hits. Now, needless to say, if you can do both, that's even better still. But you want to come and grab that? Come on then, Trunky. Get it good, Trunky. Right, and I'll keep the leather. I'm really not bothered about the bone or the suet. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of... Oh, hello. Food. I'll scavenge that while we're here. That's just kind of my philosophy of gameplay, and you know, being stronger in certain styles of play. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's necessarily entertaining to watch, which is, you know, possibly part of the issue. But it is it's a style. It's game theory, and game theory is, you know, a valid aspect. You know, min-maxing your results, getting all of the best things for yourself. That's how we win. You know, I don't think anybody who's ever gone into a casino worrying, I'm going to mark this, iron, question mark, put it there. Don't know anything about it, but it's definitely, the other thing is it's very close to a dungeon, so roguelike, because there's one just down there. So any iron we could end up digging into a roguelike, which could be unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, just my kind of philosophies in combat and stuff. I don't mind fighting. I just I don't mind. I do object to fighting fairly. Oh, hello. Gold. Question mark. So I'm going to continue searching around this kind of area, and then I'm going to head from here. I'm going to scooch down this way. I'll probably uncover that bit over there as well. What the hell is that down there? I also need to double check what that is. But I'll be back in a mo. I think we can safely say that is surface gold. I think we should also be able to... oh, God. Fall down and practically, well, not kill ourselves. We've got lots of hit points, but that was not a good. It's normal quality gold as well, which is... do I need it? I mean, it's fair away. It's a fair old way away, but let's mark it. I'm not here for gold. Surface 25. We'll mark it on there. And now we need to try and figure out how to get out. Hopefully we can do it. Didn't go so well on previous. Oh no, we got it. Okay, that was good. Anyway, so that was. I suppose it was obvious that it was some kind of surface vein, but it could have been air shards as well. Right, we've kind of done this area up here and exhausted it, so I need to head back round this way and then start uncovering. Bear City. Yeah, we've had a fair few burrs in the area, but oh well, this is the fun. So let's carry on going. I'll try and find myself some fresh water and some bears, maybe, more iron, and all of the good things that we associate with that. Let me just top off there. Lovely. See you again in a bit. That's something you don't want to see while you're boating around. I've marked a thing so I'm positional on it, so I know to avoid it, but I've kind of explored around this bit over here is shale. This bit over here is basalt, and basalt is what we want because basalt is where iron spawns predominant. Well, it's not where only iron spawns, but obviously the iron's veins are pretty hefty and you know, prevalent there. So definitely want to stick in the basalt and stay out of the shale. I have found a few things that are well, you know, semi-interesting, I suppose. I mean, there's a surface bismuth 35 from copper, a lot more potential things, but you know, nothing wowing me at the moment. We may have to resort to, well, not resort to again, we've done it before. Well, there's two things we can do, and I may do both of them. One is we can excavate bismuth, basalt gravel, because basalt gravel sifts for iron. So, you know, that's the thing. The other thing, of course, we can do is go back and I need to let's see if we can't take out this spawner, shall we? Gotcha. I think that's the ender pearls are the only thing I really want out of that. Oranges might be nice though. Fruit. Actually, I should have got the saplings while I was doing it, shouldn't I? That was stupid of me. Yeah, so I will probably do both because we can obviously sift the gravel for quite a few things, including iron, and so that's one big item. The other thing we can do with that, of course, is go and trek out some of those traces of iron that I found. Yeah, I should definitely take some orange. Oh, there's more. Yeah, we'll take the orange saplings because variety is the spice of life, as they say, and I only got one. Well, that was a bit tight, one matey. Oh well. And we can continue working over on this side of the island here, which is obviously all still basalt, so I can keep on hunting around. Just looking for the more iron veins or prospective iron veins I find, the more chance we've got of finding a good one, because we've still got 2 or 3 poor quality iron tracers. It's but what we want, I don't want to waste the effort mining those, really. I want to go for something better. That's bauxite. That's a bear. Whee! Well, that was a good shot, especially seeing as it was barely aimed and glitched. There we go. X-bear. Go and go with skin. Waste not, want not. Yeah, so we will do some more exploring and be back in a while. I'm in, just changed rock type, and I've just double checked, by the way, shale, I've just double checked, shale does actually spawn iron, so I don't have to be quite so down on it, shall we say. Conglomerate also spawns iron. It spawns limonite and magnetite specifically in the sedimentary top layers. And conglomerate gravel can be sifted for limonite. Come on, have magnetite, platinum, coal and magnetite. So there's double. This is actually better than basalt because it actually has more, but more importantly, I happen to glance down there and it's poor. Damn you. Okay, doesn't matter. You know what? I'll mark it. Iron surface-ish 15. It's, you know, it's worth it. But we've got another entire new biome of rocks with two types of iron in it, and also, as I say, the fact that we can sift this and get two types of iron rather than the one, which gives us a double chance at that, because you've only got a 5% chance of the ore being sifted anyway, and obviously if you've got two 5% chances, that's actually not a 10% chance, it's two rolls on the dice at 5%. So I think conglomerate might be a better rock type, he says, going around here into the basalt area. I'm just curious to see where this island extends to be fair, because I'm nosy. Probably why I enjoy exploration in this game quite as much as I do. There's just a inner nosiness. Ooh, wow. That is a lot of mobs on the radar, but I'm not seeing anything screaming at me yet. So, going to continue hunting around. Be back in a bit. Right, just to add insult to injury, the island of conglomerate down there is very, very small. I came north, wondering whether it was going to continue. That's marble, so that is useless. So now we are going to try and see if we can find out where this conglomerate vein runs. The biomes and the veins are huge normally, so providing it's not all ocean, we should have a good chance of finding some things. That didn't find any iron other than that 15 on the conglomerate. Yeah, this is really pushing against me. And I mean, to be fair, in the amount of time I've been out here, it's probably only like done half of that stack of steel. So, you know, as a means of passing time while steel is cooked, this is actually not bad. But it would be nice just to find a little bit more, even traces. I mean, at the moment, I've not found even traces of the thing. And of course, I've been playing for a while now, so I'm rubber banding on my transports around as well, so that's perfect too. So yeah, I'm going to keep just hunting around, just see whether we can find out some more landmass with conglomerate. It's not like I've got plenty of food, I've got plenty of time. Yeah, what we got really is time at the moment, and it is ultimately going to be a trade-off of time versus effort, you know. We're going to rubber band any moment, I can feel it. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're going to need to relog before long as well. Bloody 1.7 TerraFirmaCraft and its exploration is just not cricket, that's what we've got to say. It's just not cricket. Anyway, back in a bit. Alright, I couldn't find any more land, so I decided on a different tack for the time being. We are going to get two barrels full, or at least as near as damn it full of gravel. That means I am going to probably bin things. I could do with a little bit more timber actually. I went and chopped down a tree to make some ladders, but I could do with a chest just to dump the rest of the stuff in, and then based on how I feel, we can. Ooh, that's going to give me what am I doing? That's going to give me a double chest, isn't it? So, well, it will do if I can actually operate this game. Right, there we go. So I'm just working out on this bit of land because there's this rather ominous looking cavern down there for starters, which is fun, you know. Always nice to have a challenge, and it means we can get rid of the bits and pieces we don't need. Dare I even put Trunky down? Yeah, you'll go down, won't you? Because he's not the most reliable of trunks, you know. He will run off and just grab whatever catches his fancy, so you have to be a little bit cautious with him, but you know, he does his job. I can't remember, though, in the comments there was mention of having a fleet of them, and it was like, Jesus, you're brave. I don't think I could cope with multiple trunkies running around. That would get me very annoyed very quickly. Anyway, this I think is, whilst it's not an optimal or ideal solution, it is going to give us the best bang for our buck. And then on the way back from here, we shall spin back up past these. So there's an iron there, wasn't there? Didn't I spot another iron somewhere? Oh yeah, there's an iron, but there's quite a few. There's an iron. So there's a few possibles iron down around these areas, and there's huge areas here which I'm convinced that I must have missed some of the ores, because you can't catch them all when you're doing this thing. It's a little bit, you know, what's the word? Hit and miss. I think that's probably the fairest way to describe it. So yeah, gravel and get the gravel, and then, you know, back up out and rinse and repeat until I've got two things full. That should do the trick nicely, hopefully, and hopefully we'll not manage to flood the damn thing. That would also be ultimately very beneficial, I'm sure. So back in a little while. A slight change of plan. I'm doing one barrel. This barrel is absolutely full of gravel. This barrel, on the other hand, is full of, well, a mixed bag of things, really. So, for example, I think it was, was it that, or was it? It was those. So we can definitely take those back, and I'm actually very, very loath. Oh, that's gonna help, is it? That damn trunk's gonna pick them up. I'm very loath to leave things behind that we've worked for, so I think the rest of this lot, 1, 2, 3, 4, we will take the sand with us, because it seems silly not to, when, you know, you've done the work to get it. So, and I'll be carrying empty things home with me otherwise, which kind of doesn't make a great deal of sense either. So rather than hit up those iron supply things which are on the way back and they're kind of halfway between the two of us, I figured it would actually make a lot more sense to to get a feel for exactly how much iron I can get out of one thing of conglomerate gravel, because if it's worthwhile, you know, in that it generates more than really the effort to do it, then we might as well. Oops, hang on. Oi! Take that and that. You. I don't know whether it's sulking or not. Grab the bowls, because we'll just take those back and do those at home. And I've got a couple of. Well done, you finally remembered your job. Well done, Mr. Trunky. And we'll put the excavator away, and that should be. Oh, we don't need you either. And then we'll home, and we can experiment with exactly how much we get out of this. Oops, hello. How much we can get out of this chert stuff, not chert, conglomerate gravel. I'm also curious, in the time it's taken me to do all that, which is just an hour of, it has actually managed to do all of it. So doing something like that, what I'm thinking is if we get the guys sifting over here, we need to put another series of chests out for this stuff, but or maybe I should just process this lot up. Actually, that might make a lot more sense. What do you use to make cryolite is for redstone? Can you sag mill that? You can. So the redstone can go through this thing here, and we'll process that up, but I also need to do some sifting and all of the good stuff. So we need to grab you. And the reason I can move, by the way, is because I've got these boots on. This is all sand. That's not the one I wanted then, is it? That is the one I wanted. So we'll seal that one back up and break it and put that away for now. Yeah, so we need to get another batch of pig iron going. I need to probably process all of this lot up, get that lot sifted, and that will see. Well, let's see what we get. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So I shall be back with you in a moment. All right, I've finished sorting out those chests and smelting everything up. I have got so much redstone and quartz and other things, it's not even funny anymore. Gems the same. Unfortunately, I could have sworn in certainly one season you could combine the gems up into the higher tiers, but you don't seem to be able to do that in this one. Whether that's been disabled or not. The metals we got from the previous siftings wasn't a huge amount, but we've got, you know, oh yeah, of course you can't put those back. 20 ingots of silver and gold, 16 tin, 16 lead, oh, and some nuggets. So, you know, not bad considering they were largely a byproduct of the process. Now, having done all of that, we now need, and in the time it's taken me to do that, this created 9 ingots. So we need to sift some conglomerate gravel. You ready, lads? Get to it. So this stuff should lignite. There's still stuff in there from a previous sift, isn't there? Okay, but this stuff should give us a reasonable chance of getting quite a lot of iron, so I'm vaguely hopeful that we get, I don't think it'll be a massive amount, but given that we need to process all this steel anyway, if I can be getting 32 or even 64 ingots worth of iron out of, say, 2 chests of this, plus all of the other materials that comes with it, in the time it takes to process a couple of stacks, then that's going to be a reasonable price to pay, I think. So we've definitely got limonite, we've got satin spar, bituminous coal, kaolinite. Let's get these out. Mithril, that was platinum, selenite. I think we've got cryolite in there. That's as far as we've got. And we've got, from 1 stack, we've got 1 limonite. Not an auspicious start, it has to be said. But don't forget there is all the other stuff there as well, including the selenite, satin spar. What's that give us? Blaze rod, okay, or blaze powder. Saltpeter we use for gunpowder. Yeah, I mean it's not. Oh, and coal, of course. Lignite is also coal, isn't it? If I remember rightly, yeah. We'll just dump these bits off in here and continue sifting. I'll be back in a bit. All right, we're a day later. We're a set of quite a few hours later. And this is the last stack of gravel. This is tedious. If this weren't for YouTube and streaming video services, I don't think I could do this. It's a case of just get something playing on the other monitor and quite literally grind, which is fun. Honest. It is, really. No, it's not fun. It's horrible. It's not a good system at all. It has to be said. However, it's what we got. So I had to put another chest in because the ore quantities were, I won't say awesome. I know I just did. Sorry. Yeah, bad puns. You got to have some bad puns. And to be fair, they aren't actually that awesome. But we're getting a lot out of this one. There's a lot of variety. And to be fair, some of it is utter dross as well. This stuff, for example, absolutely no use whatsoever. I don't think you can crush it. Let me see what happens. You can't crush it. That it has no purpose in life whatsoever that I can see. And it's one of the big issues with TFC. It always has been. Like, there's somewhere in this lot there's some jet. Now jet normally is useless, but in this we can crush it down for jet powder or coal. I don't know what the difference is there. Or we can make jet cobblestone, or we can make jet bricks. So, and we can crush it in there for flux and coal powder, or sag mill for the same. So it has a use. It's not utterly useless. Everything else actually has a use in here, but let's have a look at, and incidentally, the pig iron completed. We've actually gone through and done nearly another stack of it, actually. I'm getting close. There's only 10 left to go there, which is probably hours, but there you go. So limonite, 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 magnetite, magnetite. I don't think there's any more in there. But we've got plenty of platinum, plenty of bismuth, quite a bit of coal, some kaolinite, some gypsum, which obviously is flux. No, it's gypsum powder, actually. I thought that was flux. Gypsum plaster, okay, makes alabaster. Selenite, jet, pitch blend, hello. Which, again, saltpeter and satin spar. Satin spar was used for blaze powder. So that's all good. And in this one, if we jump up, we've also got a bit more of that and a bit more of that. Now the question is, how much iron did that one barrel of gravel yield, because whilst it's tedious and boring and, you know, not the best way to do things, how does it compare to, well, mining for it? Now my suspicion is it's going to be pretty pathetic. That's 6 ingots there. I think we'll probably maybe get 32 if we're really lucky. So out of the limonite, we are going to get, may get as much as 40, I don't know. We've got 20 out of the limonite plus some nuggets. Then magnetite, because of course we're all iron, as far as the forge, the smelter is concerned, it doesn't care. In terms of magnetite, we shall add in, that's 27. So we're definitely getting a stack, but that ain't a lot for the amount of work involved. I think you'd get a lot more, well, we would get a lot more if we identify a good iron mine and go and mine it out. So yeah, it's kind of swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because we, in addition to whatever iron we get out, we got all of the other materials. So we've got 39 ingots. So hang on, 9, 18, 27, 36. I need to take three out and the nuggets. I think that's right. That should be 36. Get the nugget mold. Nugget. How many nuggets was it? 5. So that's, they've got 4 left. So we are getting more than one thing. It's not just that we're getting right, and that should be 36. So just at 9, 18, 20. Yeah. So that should be 4 blocks of iron in addition to 3 and that. We'll soon find out. There's 1. There's 2. Well, should be 2 any second. So yeah, it's not actually a perfectly true comparison because, you know, we are, in addition to getting all of the iron, we are getting the other bits and pieces, which I can't actually remember what we got. Let me go and double check again. Hibby-dibby-doo. So I mean, you know, there's basically, forget the gold, cassiterite and the mithril, but there's all these Certus quartz, there's the quartz, there's all the gems, which, yeah, right, maybe not that useful. There's bismuth, platinum, lots of coal, pitch blend, satin spar. You know, it's not a complete waste because all of this stuff has got use, with the exception of that. So yeah, it's a kind of a mixed bag. It's not a complete waste of time, but you know, because we're getting lots of things. But as a targeted solution, could have sworn I just saw something move there, but there you go. Probably. Oh, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. You need to be off. Yeah, as a targeted solution, you know, to get in iron, it is probably more cost effective to actually go and mine some iron. Yeah, I think that's a fair experiment. We've done some stuff, and I think next episode we're probably going to have to go and mine some iron. But I'm going to almost certainly time it so this finishes the next stack of 32, so I can put another lot of 32 in, because we need to keep feeding this to be making the steel, because every 32 is only 3 blocks of steel plus, you know, a bit, 3 blocks plus 5. And like we said, we're going to need a hell of a lot of this. So, yeah. Incidentally, if you're wondering why I changed this out, I inadvertently caught one of these blocks on the side with some gravel when I was things that the gravel just shot straight through. So I don't want to run the risk of it falling through on these guys. So we put them into non-collapsible blocks. You know, you live and learn. Ooh, one thing we also need to do is check is this. I've got an 8, 6, 10, and yeah, we're getting there. So, on that note, we've done some stuff, and we've got more stuff to do. There you go. That's technical speak for you. Till next time, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Bye for now.